particular self-test, a lot of people find it very difficult going out to a place where they are running free HIV tests.
So it's when you know you've been exposed?
Yes. When you know you've been exposed, or when you feel you use something that is not yours. Sometimes people say, after sucking breast, he sucked breast. We are from the same mother. Why are you telling me that I cannot share his razor blade? You know, he finished cutting his nail and you took it. It's my flesh and blood. What do you mean?
So it's exposure rather than symptoms.
Exposure can make you run a test on yourself. Being raped could help before you summon the courage to go out there to get the test done. Things like that. So a lot of things can.
So it's exposure.
Also the symptoms.
The symptoms.
If you start saying
that symptoms too is there because there are signs and symptoms of HIV. When you have rashes, but people can have rashes without exposing themselves for. So you don't categorically say because you have rashes, it could be as a result.
So it's more exposure.
When you expose yourself, please, instead of thinking, sometimes people die of the thought of going out to do it in public area. But when you have this access to yourself, you can easily do it.
Sorry, final question.
Okay.
Are antiretroviral drugs now, well, two questions in one. Are they easily accessible in Nigeria and are they free? Are they affordable?
They are accessible, but it depends. Not everybody. ILO, NiBUCAA and Co are working wonders to make this available. How many people can afford this? So when you talk about antiretroviral, it's in the country, but there is a variance that is here. Take for instance, if I'm positive now, I must maintain my positivity so that I don't have various strains. HIV could be, I can be on type 1M, and another person may be on type 1N. If I expose myself in having sex with that person, I will now become type 1N and N. So if you've been placed on medication before based on type 1M, and you now have an added variance to what you have, M and N, that medication given to you will no longer work for you. So the drugs coming in most times are one strain drugs. You must maintain where you stand so that that drug can fit you. If not, you order your drugs. Because when you have double strains in you, the single line drugs, you need double. So that double, you might find it difficult getting it in a particular place. So most times you find yourself ordering the one for where you stand. So the drugs are in the country if you maintain a level that is available. Are you getting my point? It may be available, but it's not rampant. But you can get type 1N, you can get type 1N, type 1O, and different variants, but they are one single line drugs.
The self-test properly. We learned how to interpret the results on the self-test kits. We've also learned about the work NiBUCAA is doing with respect to the private sector and enlightenment on HIV and preventative work on HIV. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so the only woman.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, yes, I've learned about a bit more about HIV. I've learned about HIV self-testing. I've learned about the work that NiBUCAA is doing. I've also learned about the epidemiology, I think that's what it's called, about the spread. And I have also learned, again, that HIV is not a death sentence. You can get to a point where the viral load is such that
Undetectable.
it becomes undetectable, and that's a good thing. I've also learned about the difficulties in accessing care.
And double HIV.
And I've also learned about double HIV. Double HIV.
Or they will always spread the three.
Already is in the blood.
Yes.
The 3 is already in the blood.
And so he's asking that
When
if
they give it
they
out,
infect somebody, the person that they infect, will that person have the 3?
You will pick everything that the was. The funny thing is, you are told that women are vulnerable. And one day, do you know that as a lady now, I might actually have sex with a man when I'm positive, and I will come out without infecting him. But it's rarely possible for a positive man to enter a woman and come out and the woman is free.
Okay, that's the problem then.
Because of the way our body is.
Because of the
It's just
physiology.
the tiny hole on his penis. Most times it is when it's lubricated that it widens a bit to allow something to come in. But for the woman, look at us. A bucket just drop to spread. So most times that's where our vulnerability comes in. But that
Because the woman is the receiver.
that I'm telling you that you are safer should not give you the courage to go and a trial will convince you that at times.
Madam,
Eh?
it looks like sex is like major avenue where this thing is spread. Does that
Man
mean
sex.
or that
It's
means
80% true sex.
Oh.
The other,
Mother to child transfusion. Mother to child transfusion.
mother to check and using of sharps. That is just the remaining 20%. But 80% generally is
What about the clipper? Clipper.
Yes, it's sharps now.
Yeah, that's
Clipper is a sharp object. You know one funny thing with that clipper, a lot of the guys used to miss, you know, you see this keloid, these bumps at the back of the head.
Yeah.
It's not a viral infection. But people pick it from the clipper. HIV is viral infection. If after sterilizing the clipper, it didn't solve the problem of keloid, why will it solve the problem of the viral infection? So people should carry their clipper to the no amount. What they do is to use bleach or they use fire. See, the best hospital in Nigeria doing research on HIV is UI. They had an operation for a woman that was pregnant, and after the operation, they boiled all the tools that were used and placed them back. Then they used this thing to check, and the virus was still swimming on those sharp objects. That was how it came out that if you are coming for operation to give birth, you go with your tools. No more sharing. So we have come to the point where everybody need to wake up and know we need to sit up to fight against HIV so that we can conquer it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This video shows you how to use the OOA Quick HIV self-test properly. The test has been shown to be effective, accurate and safe to use. It is important to follow the instructions to ensure an accurate result. Please note that if you are HIV positive and taking HIV treatment, this test is not for you, as it may produce a false negative result. Do not eat or drink for 15 minutes before you start the test, or use mouth cleaning products 30 minutes before you start the test. Okay, let's begin. First of all, find a quiet place that has good lighting and a flat surface to perform the test. Open the pack, take out the instructions and read them carefully. The kit contains the test stick, a tube of test liquid and the tube holder. Find the test tube and remove it by opening the pack. Next, remove the cap, then place the tube in the tube holder. Next, find and remove the test stick. This small packet is for storage only and is not needed for the test. Throw it away. Make sure you don't touch the flat pad. Press the flat pad firmly against your gum. and wipe it once along the upper gum and once along the lower one. Put the flat pad all the way into the tube until it touches the bottom. Leave it there for 20 minutes before reading the results. Do not read the result after 40 minutes. Now let's read the result. If there are two lines, one next to the C and one next to the T, even if it's very faint, then you may have HIV. If your result shows two lines, you should contact your closest healthcare clinic or nurse. They will be able to perform follow-up tests and give you advice on what to do to stay healthy. If there is one line next to the C and no line next to the T, then your result is negative. However, if you think you have been exposed to HIV recently, then you should take another test in 3 months. If there is no line next to the C, or a red background makes it impossible to read the result, or if the line is neither next to the C or T, then the test is not working and you need to get another one. Now that you have completed the test, remove the test stick from the tube, put the cap back on and throw everything away in the normal rubbish. Thank you for using the OOA Quick HIV self-test. Now you know your HIV status.
The kit, the one that shows totally pink, probably result after 40 minutes. That particular one can it still be reused? The moment you can't use that again, that's one. Then number 2, this program actually teaches us to be discreet about our status. And I wonder, should we really are we meant to be discreet about it? That's like a feedback, it's not a question. And the last one, which is a major concern. Now, there are 2 ways of testing. The one is oral, the other one is blood related. Yeah. Now, the oral, that explains that one can actually, I stand to be corrected though, but based on the analysis, it explains that through mouth-to-mouth kissing, you can actually contact that if the test can be run through that medium, then that shows automatically that you can contact this virus through kissing. Right or wrong? Those are my questions.
Let me start from the back and get to the middle. A lot of people used to feel once they see blood. We've seen a lot of men go into the lab, do tests and collapse there because they are positive. But if they were given the accurate information during counseling, they will know better. So it's very vital for you, whatever the result comes out now, do a confirmatory test to be sure it is where you stand. That gives you a correct listing.
Okay, how long has NiBUCAA been, as an organization, been on? I just want to know, how long?
NiBUCAA?
Yes.
Being incorporated?
Incorporated, yes.
2003.
2003. So why, since we have NiBUCAA and NiCA, then why do we still have prevalence of HIV and AIDS still
Highest?
Yes.
No. Nigeria accounts for the 2nd largest country with HIV epidemic in the world. That's what we said. Okay.
My dear, behavior change is our problem. There was a time Namibia was championing the highest in the world.
Yeah.
But today, through their programming, they are down now, and nobody is hearing about them again. Talk about Edo. They mentioned Edo. Somebody was like, These places that you see limit, small this thing, it depends on the kind of programming ongoing there. For instance, in our country here, especially in Lagos here, a man can stand on the road and do it. Is that bad in this Lagos? No decorum, nothing anymore. Despite the fact they told you HIV is existing, when you have unprotected sex, you can get infected. People are still having unprotected. They will tell you condom what? Rubbish. I want to enjoy. How can I lick sweet with the rapper? Because we want that. Let me. And they know there's nothing like the person is carrying on her face and the HIV positive. We still want to explore. If we could checkmate ourselves in things like this, there are going to be a drop. Nigeria is careless. They will tell you man must die. Something must kill a man.
Towards ending AIDS. We cannot just do this in a day or two. Do you understand? Even in the United States, we still have the prevalence. In other countries, we still have. United States, they have more resources, do you understand, to be galvanized for this response. Nigeria, we are still following them, and you don't expect us to just finish responding to it in just how many years. So it's a journey. I must really tell you that the government and the private sector, even the UN agencies, because this is in collaboration with these UN agencies, you know, key partners, diplomatic missions, agencies, to fight AIDS. So everybody is galvanizing the resources and their technical expertise and all of that to fight AIDS. But we still have new infections every day. When I was presenting, I said something. In 2016, we had 2.6 prevalence. Now we have 1.5 prevalence. That's to tell you that, you know, we have progress already. Yeah.
Young adults in the university, and part of the things that we do is make sure they don't use the same toothbrush, don't share razor blade or any sharp objects. Are there other things that we could tell them or we could disseminate so that even as a parent, I mean, send the child 3 months before they come home or meet them every 6 weeks so that they are not also exposed, whether it's secondary or even in the university or in any tertiary institution. So are there other precautions we can take beyond?
Mentorship program is very important in schools. Mentoring, you know, when you get to a school, if it is male, female, separate the guys from the babes and say the things the way it should be said. Let everybody know, even amongst us here. Let me tell you, it's because you are privileged to have an organization like this and you share a toilet, for instance. You see a lot of toilets that are clean. There are some infections on a woman or a man. Maybe you have genital warfare. And you sit on a toilet seat and get up and somebody comes there, sparkling white, and she sits. A lot of infections can go on through that. Just imagine secondary school. Just imagine secondary school that sometimes you pass their toilets when you go for supervision. You see like all these maggots every year. So a lot of things need to be put in place. A lot of young people, they wash their pants, squeeze it. You don't go dry, they will still wear them. Your younger guys, a lot of old guys here, you sit down and put your laptop here to work. Sterility. The heat from the laptop can damage your scrotal sac and you will be shooting.
Effortless.
I was trying to think the word that you shooting blank without knowing you, but you go to this pharmacy and buy that heavy supplement that will make you, your laptop is killing what is in your system. And at the end of the day, my wife no born. Now she be because when I was growing up, I was 6 years. But when you now got your laptop, I didn't know it. So a lot of things, a lot of young guys, they will go to school and wear 4 naked. So that if they want to flog them, they will just do that. They people like, oh boy, you're a bigger boy. Oh my God. This is the kind of, without knowing something is happening down beneath. So a lot of things need to be done where young people are. A lot of
without even having all these things, is it possible for one to be infected of HIV?
Without using...
Without sex, without maybe sharp objects, is it possible for one to contact HIV, maybe by breath or whatever?
If you don't do sharps and you don't do sex, and you are not having blood transfusion, because 80% is via sexual intercourse. The remaining 20% is by using sharp objects, blood transfusion, infected mother to unborn child. Once all these things are done, you are safe.
Okay. After all those means, there's no way one can contact it.
And there are some guys that will tell you I'm not into sex, I don't like sex. But they do more than sex with other things. There are guys that will tell you I don't want sex. But I need you to do blowjobs for me. I need to do blowjobs for me. And what? Oh, just to keep.
A
lot of them are infected through that.
Towers and undies for boys and men. Does that in any way constitute any risk towards in terms of beyond hygiene to HIV in any way or form?
Yes, if you are a guy, for instance, and you notice that oftentimes you see yourself, you can see what I'm doing.
Yes.
It means some organisms are moving. Are we together?
Yes.
So once you use a boxer, it's your responsibility to pull it out.
Today's program has been quite insightful, very, very insightful. At least I've gotten to learn of the NiBUCAA body and then the NiCUAA body as well. The NiBUCAA body is the body that covers the private sector and the NiCUAA covers the public sector. And I got to learn also of the self-test kits for HIV. And I also got one as well. Yeah, it's been quite insightful and very, very nice. I had a very, very wonderful experience. Yeah.
The training has really helped me to get to know more about HIV and AIDS, the training, how to self-test myself, and also to be able to impact in my society. So I think that is it basically.
I just want to say a big thank you to NiBUCAA, to ILO for partnering with us and for making this information and even self-testing kit available. There are some things that it's in the self-testing. It's not something we ordinarily would normally just want to go and do. Some of us have been tested by virtue of maybe work, school, and all of that. But the thought and the statistics of what we can do in terms of areas that we may not even have looked at. I just want to say thank you for this laudable initiative, and we hope that we will have many more partnerships and collaborations between NiBUCAA and Olajuwon Olusegun Foundation, supported by ILO.